Welcome to an exploration of one of the most fascinating problems in modern science, the meta-analysis paradox. Meta-analysis combines multiple studies to find truth. But paradoxically, this combination can actually distort reality instead of clarifying it. Let's first understand what meta-analysis is and why scientists use it. Meta-analysis is a statistical technique that combines results from multiple independent studies on the same question. The goal is to increase statistical power by pooling data and hopefully discover the true underlying effect. Multiple individual studies are combined using statistical methods to produce a single, supposedly more reliable, combined result. Let's look at the fundamental mathematics that makes meta-analysis work. The combined effect estimate theta bar equals the sum of weighted effect sizes divided by the sum of weights. Each individual study has its own effect size theta I and is assigned a weight Wi based on its sample size or precision. Typically, the weight equals 1 over the variance, so more precise studies get more weight in the analysis. This formula looks straightforward, but it hides some dangerous assumptions that can lead us astray. The first major problem is heterogeneity, when studies are fundamentally different from each other. Look at these 4 studies measuring the same treatment. Their effect sizes vary wildly, suggesting they might be measuring fundamentally different things. Here's a critical question. Should we really be averaging these studies together when they differ so dramatically? We measure heterogeneity using I-squared, which tells us what percentage of variation is due to real differences versus random error. When I-squared exceeds 75%, we have high heterogeneity, suggesting the studies are too different to combine meaningfully. Let's examine a concrete example from medical research on exercise and depression. Study 1 used college students jogging 30 minutes daily for 8 weeks. Study 2 used elderly patients doing water aerobics for 12 weeks. Study 3 used middle-aged adults doing resistance training for 6 weeks. When we plot these 3 studies, their effect sizes are scattered. The red line shows the combined meta-analytic result. The combined result suggests a moderate benefit, but this average may not apply to any specific population. The critical issue is whether this average result actually helps us make decisions for any specific patient group. Now let's explore publication bias, one of the most insidious problems in meta-analysis. Studies showing positive effects are approximately 3 times more likely to be published than null or negative results. Here we see published studies in yellow above the line, while unpublished null results languish below in gray, invisible to meta-analysts. Imagine the true effect size is actually 0.5. But due to publication bias, the observed meta-analysis yields 0.9, nearly double the true value. This systematic bias creates a false scientific consensus around inflated effect sizes that don't reflect reality. Meta-analysis can also fall victim to Simpson's paradox, where trends reverse when data are combined. In both groups, the treatment shows negative trends, but when combined, the red line shows a positive trend, completely reversing the conclusion. Each individual subgroup shows the treatment causes harm, yet the combined analysis paradoxically suggests benefit. This occurs when confounding variables are unevenly distributed across the groups being combined. The way we weight studies in meta-analysis can dramatically alter conclusions. In random effects models, weight equals 1 over variance plus tau squared, where tau squared represents between study variance. A small change in how we estimate tau squared can completely flip the meta-analytic conclusion. Study weights shown here as percentages. The large study dominates with 50% weight, potentially overwhelming contradictory evidence from other studies. This raises a critical question. Should one large but potentially flawed study be allowed to outweigh several smaller but well-designed studies? Early studies often show larger effects than later replications, a pattern called the Proteus phenomenon. This graph shows how effect sizes decline over time as studies become more rigorous and initial excitement fades. Early studies might report effect sizes around 1.2, but later, more careful studies find effect sizes closer to 0.3, less than a third of the initial claim. The timing of a meta-analysis critically matters. Early meta-analyses are systematically over-optimistic compared to later ones. Meta-analysis assumes studies are exchangeable, meaning we can swap them without changing our conclusions. Exchangeability assumes all studies are measuring the same underlying truth, just with different amounts of noise. Studies from USA, Japan, and Brazil involve populations with different genetics, diets, and healthcare systems. Are they really exchangeable? Real populations differ fundamentally in genetics, environment, and culture, violating the exchangeability assumption. By averaging these studies together, we assume away real biological and social differences that might be crucial. Let's formalize the paradox mathematically to see why combining studies can fail. Each study's result, theta I, equals the true effect theta, plus a bias term beta I, plus random error epsilon I. The combined estimate equals the true effect, plus the average bias, plus average error. Here's the key insight. If biases across studies are correlated rather than random, averaging does not eliminate them. The variance of our combined estimate has two parts: random error divided by case studies, plus the variance of systematic biases. As we add more studies, the random error component decreases, which is good. However, systematic bias accumulates and can actually dominate our combined estimate, creating false precision. The meta-analysis paradox has real consequences for medicine and policy. Case 1. Meta-analyses suggested antidepressants were 30% more effective than they actually are due to unpublished negative trials. Case 2. Meta-analyses of observational studies suggested hormone replacement therapy was beneficial for heart health. But a later large randomized controlled trial showed it actually increased cardiovascular risk, completely reversing the recommendation. This diagram shows how meta-analysis conclusions can point in completely the opposite direction from reality. As a result, millions of patients received treatments based on flawed meta-analyses that later proved harmful or ineffective. Given these problems, what can researchers and clinicians do to improve meta-analysis? Solution 1. Always assess and transparently report heterogeneity measures like I-squared. Solution 2. Actively search for unpublished studies and gray literature to combat publication bias. Solution 3. Whenever possible, use individual patient data meta-analysis rather than aggregated study results. Individual patient data meta-analysis combines raw data from all studies, allowing much more sophisticated analysis and subgroup detection. Solution 4. Pre-register meta-analysis protocols before beginning to prevent selective reporting of favorable results. Solution 5. Perform extensive sensitivity analyses to test how conclusions change under different assumptions. The meta-analysis paradox raises a deeper philosophical question about scientific knowledge. Is there really one true effect out there, waiting to be discovered through meta-analysis? Or are effects fundamentally context-dependent and heterogeneous, varying across populations and settings? The traditional view assumes a universal truth at the center, with studies approximating it with varying degrees of accuracy. An alternative view suggests multiple context-dependent truths, with no single universal answer to discover. Perhaps we need to fundamentally shift from seeking the single true effect to understanding how and why effects vary across contexts. Network meta-analysis attempts to compare multiple treatments simultaneously, but this adds even more complexity. Network meta-analysis compares treatments A, B, C, and D through both direct and indirect comparisons shown by these connecting lines. It assumes transitivity. If treatment A beats B and B beats C, then A must beat C. But transitivity frequently fails in medicine due to complex interaction effects between treatments and patient characteristics. Network meta-analysis assumes the A versus C effect equals the A versus B effect plus the B versus C effect. Violations of this mathematical assumption are common in practice but extremely difficult to detect reliably. Let's summarize the core meta-analysis paradox we've explored. Meta-analysis promises to combine weak evidence from individual studies into strong, reliable conclusions. But averaging fundamentally diverse studies can create dangerous illusions of scientific consensus. Like concentric circles, biases from publication, heterogeneity, and flawed assumptions compound when studies are combined. The fundamental paradox is that statistical precision increases with more studies, but accuracy may actually decrease.